predict the future for us.
Okay.
Tell the people by the time they watch this, we'll already know. Predict the future on what you think the Grizzlies could possibly do tonight, and just the entire offseason. Some things you see the Grizzlies possibly doing to improve what we've already seen so far.
I think Kleiman can't help himself. I think he's going to trade up in this draft. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, like probably something in the 30s, something like they did with Kennedy Chandler last year, to go up and get his guy. I don't know who that guy's going to be. If Bryce Sensabaugh is there, I'd love to take a shot on him. He's a shooter, shot creator out of Ohio State, 6'6", 230,
Hearing his name
big
a lot.
old dude. Yeah,
I'll hear some.
The one guy I am so convinced is going to be a Grizzly at the end of this night, whether that's pick 56 or they sign him on a two-way, is a guy named Demoy Hodge out of Missouri. If you do all these like stats-based searches on like who the Grizzlies have drafted,
I guarantee you
he's
he can
number one.
Like steals.
Yeah, steal percentage is like 5 point something, it's the threes, the assists, the steals, like all of it.
Right.
He hits all those. The crazy thing about him, he will turn 25 years old in December. He is super old. Like not DeAndre Williams
not DeAndre Williams old,
but he's old.
He's old. Yeah, he's NBA old.
As far as the rest of the summer, man, it feels like we did the big move, right? But I've seen – so I'm not a cap guy. I defer all that stuff to people like Matt Hardlick, the guys who are really smart, right? But he was basically saying that if they move off of like a Zaire or they move off of John Conchar, then that would give them a little more flexibility from a tax perspective to offer a multi-year mid-level. So that's what I have my eye on. If they move Conchar or they move Zaire –
for nothing, like throw him into space.
Yes. Right. Or like an expiring, like a 1 year deal or something, then that allows him to really offer that full mid-level for multiple years. So I feel like that would be the precursor to something bigger this summer.
If they make a move to shed salary.
That's exactly right.
That's ringing the bell. They're probably going to do something.
Like Harrison Barnes, Bruce Brown obviously won. Yeah. Some people brought up.
I would lose my shit if we get Harrison Barnes. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
Me and Kenny talked about that this morning. I'm kind of leaning more towards that might actually happen.
Yeah.
Because people
he's kind of washed, but I still like him.
Yeah. I mean, he's still a vet guy who's,
he's exactly what you need.
He's won at the highest level. You can start him. You can play him at the 3. You play him at the 4.
For sure.
He's a guy who probably he's came off the bench before, so he may be down for something like that, especially at this stage of his career. Somebody told me he's got some type of Mid-South connection too. Like he's got people here. Or something
North Carolina guy. I don't know.
Could be. Somebody said he's got grandmama cousin or something.
He was like the next Jordan. Remember, he was a huge prospect.
That dude was a big
Barnes.
deal. Big deal for sure.
I got a question for Chip before we get out of here.
Yeah.
You got Zaire Williams, you got Jake LaRavia, and David Roddy.
Oh.
Who has who has the biggest role next year, and who is most likely to not be on the team next year?
Wow, that's a great question. I'll go most likely to not be on the team, probably Zaire. Biggest role, I'll just throw a take out there. I think it's going to be Jake LaRavia. I still really believe in that guy. I think you go back and watch the first 15, 20 games when he was in the rotation. Like, this guy was moving the ball. He was knocking down shots. Like, the way that guy sets his feet, turns, gets square, and fires the ball, all in one motion quick, I believe in that. And then you watch what he did in the G League, too. The shooting numbers were really good. I just believe in Jake, and I think the front office very much does as well. I think a lot of people jumped off the bandwagon because he got hurt, then he fell out of the rotation and never really was given a chance after that. But the G League stuff was really good. First 15 games or so was encouraging. And he was our best player at Summer League the year before too. So, I guess that's how I'd rank him. I love big body Roddy too. So I think him and LaRavia have a really good chance of playing next year. I was a long-time Zaire guy. I'm not ready to give up, but if you're making me pick between the 3, I think he's the most likely to not be on the roster next year.